welcome to day 11 of Mini Winterfest. So today's build is a small farm for a family of 5 Sims and maybe a small dog or a cat. I've decorated it for I think 2 children, a toddler and 2 parents, or that's at least what I had in mind. But you can renovate this to, you know, however many of each life stage you would like. So after the last couple of builds I've done have been mostly pack restricted, I didn't want this one to be restricted, so this one I just kind of used whatever I wanted. And I was inspired for this one by one of the shelves that we got with the country kitchen kit. It's got like a little little cherries on it, and I thought they were really cute, and we have cherry harvestables in the game, so I thought it was a fun idea just to do a cherry farm. I've seen quite a few apple farms and other, you know, things like that, so I wanted to do something that I hadn't really seen. And when I found that the shelf had those cute little cherries on it and these things from cottage living with the these windows with the red shutters, I thought they were just perfect. So that is what I have done. I probably should have built this on a bigger lot, because when it came to doing the landscaping, I found that I ran out of room very quickly, and I wanted to add like a swing set for the children, but I just couldn't fit it in the end. It was just, there wasn't enough space. I have added chickens though. There's a truck out the front, which I think is really cute. I like the fact that it comes in red. That's mostly why I've used it. And then I've put a couple of farming plots in the back. I think I've only used 4, but you can get like quite a lot of things out of those 4 farming plots, so I thought it was plenty to get started at least, and then obviously you can move them out when they get more money and, you know, need a bigger lot. I think I will probably do a bigger farm at some point. I kind of already have an idea for it, but I don't know when I'll get to it. Probably next year. I don't know how many of these I'm going to do. I definitely am not going to be doing these builds or like Mini Winterfest builds after Christmas, so maybe I'll do it after Christmas, we'll see. So going into the furnishing, I've done a very small bathroom. I was originally going to have a shower and then realized that I was decorating for a toddler, so we needed a bath. And also, if you have a dog in this house too, then you definitely need a bath. Although I've had issues with my Sims bathing dogs, they kind of don't for some reason. They just like cancel the interaction, which is very strange. It's probably not just me, but just something I've noticed. Anyway, I wasn't really sure kind of the direction to go with the furnishings in this house. I wanted it to look quite old farmhouse style, but then when it came to decorating the children's room, it's a little bit more modern. I've used some of the furniture from Dream Home Decorator, and I thought my idea with it is that, you know, it's an older build, maybe it was inherited, and the parents have just made the bedroom for the kids a little bit nicer than the rest of the house. The kitchen I kind of found a little bit tricky. I don't know why I didn't try and furnish that one first, because it probably would have given me a little bit of an idea of how to do it. And then maybe I could have changed the floor plan, but that's, you know, just my luck. But in here, it's kind of all along this one wall here, because I tried to figure out how I was going to get a dining table in, and at first I thought maybe I could put it outside, but then that doesn't work unless you're only in the summer. So I thought, no, I definitely need to put a dining table inside. But yeah, where to put it and where to be able to fit like 5 chairs around it and a high chair, it was a struggle, but this works, so I'm pretty pleased with that. I've ended up using a combination of these top cabinets from Country Living the kitchen kit and parenthood, because I didn't really know which pack that I wanted to use, and I really liked this light wood, but it only comes in the country kitchen kit, so the other cabinets, the curtains all end up a funny color, and it was just not happening. So I end up changing them to the parenthood ones in the white swatch. Even though the windows are kind of a little bit blue, I thought that's okay, you can't really notice, and it still has that wood grain look to it, so I thought they kind of match. They match enough, so it's fine. I'm using my favorite bin from Get to Work. I don't know why I have a favorite bin, but I do. And that's the one that I always use. I think it's because it looks a little bit more realistic. It's got like a bag in it, and you know, it just looks more natural to me. So I did put the pet bowls over here. I end up only using one bowl, and then I forgot to put any more pet furniture down, so I did that after I had stopped recording. So if you want the pet, then you can, or you can just, you know, delete those. I have used quite a lot of items from cats and dogs, so it's definitely, you know, fits the theme anyway. So I added quite a lot of clutter items to this kitchen. I wanted it to look very lived in, like this family have been here for quite a while, so I thought that was, you know, a nice idea. I've never really used these jars before, so when I found that the different swatches just changed like the label on the front, I thought that was really cool. So we have like a flour jar, a coffee jar, and a cookie jar up there, which I really like. I've added quite a lot of clutter over on this side too. Everything is alt placed, so the counters should all work, but you know, there is plenty of counters if you wanted to delete any of the items to, you know, make them function. This one here on the left hand side under the window, there isn't actually anything on it, so that is probably the one that they will choose to use, or the one next to the cooker. But you know, my Sims always seems to choose the like corner counter, even if there's a load of stuff on it and they have a free counter that's got nothing on it. For some reason they still always choose the corner counter. It's kind of annoying because they end up clipping with things. Anyway, I saw somebody that I was watching yesterday, sorry I don't remember who it was, use this table in one of their stop motion builds as like a little decorative piece on their dining table, and then put like some plants and stuff on it, and I thought it was really cool, so I have done the same thing here. I really like the look of it, so thank you to whoever that was. Sorry I don't remember. So this is kind of the point where I remembered that we had these cute little cherry things. I think they're shelves, but to me they look like curtains should go underneath them, so that's what I've done in this one. I've only used them in the kitchen and in the living room area. I haven't put them in the bedrooms because I end up using I think I used cats and dogs curtains in the parents' bedroom and they just didn't fit, they were way too big. I also wanted to try and stick with rugs that had this like worn kind of look to them. At least underneath this dining table, I thought it would probably get quite a lot of wear on it, especially considering it's right near the front and back door. I thought, you know, it would, of all of the rugs, it's probably the one that's the most worn. And it probably came with a house too. So I tried to kind of create like a family photo wall up here. I've said it before, I do want more of these because I really like them. I would really appreciate a landscape one actually, just so that it's a little bit different, just to add something else. I probably could have used the ones from Get Together, thinking about it now, but you can't really see the Sims in that one very well. They're like really far away, but I still think they're really nice pictures. So I have tried to keep the lighting quite minimal in this build. I think I've got maybe like a lamp and a couple of wall lights in each bedroom. I've tried to stay away from ceiling lights other than in the kitchen, and that's the only one that I've used. And in like at nighttime, it's quite nice. I really like that dull kind of soft lighting over the really bright harsh white light. I do like to use it when I'm actually furnishing so I can see and make sure like the colors match and things like that, but when it comes to actually playing, the bright white lights kind of, I don't know, they don't feel very realistic to me, so I don't tend to use them, especially in homes like this. Maybe more in like a modern build, I think they'd probably be better if you had like spotlights and things, but especially in this sort of old country style house, it's not going to be like, you know, bright white lights everywhere. So I think actually the bathroom is probably like the brightest lit room in the whole build. So originally I was going with this wallpaper in this bedroom from the paranormal kit. Once I end up putting the bed and the curtains that I want to use up there, it completely covers that entire wall, so I don't end up using that one. I just keep it as like plain white all the way around. The rest of the rooms, I tried to at least give them an accent kind of wall. The toddler room is all the same, and I think the kids room ends up all the same just because I like the themed wallpaper, especially the toddler room. That one I think turned out really cute. And I've used the bed from Eco Lifestyle. I don't know why, but I was convinced that we got one with Dream Home Decorator for the toddlers, since we have like 50 million beds in that pack, but apparently no toddler beds, which I was a bit surprised, because I could have sworn that we got one for some reason, but obviously not. So luckily we have the Eco Lifestyle one. I was originally going to use a base game one, and I didn't like it. So yeah, thank you Eco Lifestyle. So I wanted to use this clock. I do end up sticking with it, but it just doesn't come in the color swatches that I was kind of going for. It's very like I don't know, almost like a mahogany kind of chestnut wood, and that's not what I was going for. I was going with quite dark wood, so it kind of sticks out a little bit, but I think it's okay. You can probably just ignore it or delete it. Over in this corner I use this little, I don't really know what it is, like a display stand thing. I really like it. I try and use it as often as I can. I come back a little bit later and use, I think it's like a hanging plant from the Blooming Rooms kit. It kind of looks a little bit strange because it does hang from the ceiling, but I wanted it to look like it was balanced on the top of the unit, and then like all the ivy kind of comes down the side. But you know, because you can see that it's hung from the ceiling, it does look a little bit strange, but hopefully it's not too noticeable, especially in the screenshot, since I know quite a lot of people don't tend to download the build for the build. They just like to look at the screenshots at the end of the video, so if I can get the screenshots right, it doesn't really matter. So after asking all of you about like the speed and everything, yesterday I hadn't gotten around to looking at the comments, so I kept that one I think at 8 times. This one is at 6 times speed. I'm not sure whether you can even tell the difference, but it adds an extra 5 minutes onto the video, so it's obviously doing something. I just hope it's a little bit easier for everyone to watch, so yeah, let me know. So in here is very red. I tried, this is the plant that I was using. You can see it kind of just looks a bit strange because it is hanging from the ceiling, but I think it looks fine. Anyway, the parents' bedroom, it is very red. That was kind of my original idea of color with this house, is that everything was going to be, you know, red themed, but I kind of didn't really go too much with it. I kind of have accent pieces here and there, like the red chair in the living room, and then there's like some red pots and things in the kitchen. But then when it came to this bedroom, I kind of went a little bit like maybe over the top, which is why I'm glad that I stuck with the white wallpaper, because otherwise it just would have been way too much. I end up adding another couple of windows over on this wall here, just to kind of open it up a little bit more. I don't know whether it actually closes it off, to be honest, because of the curtains and things. I end up using blinds, but so I figured out a way to get these three windows, sorry, to work together. If you use this base game roof decoration and size it up just a little bit, you can kind of cover it up a little bit, and from far away it kind of looks like it's meant to be like that. Not so much from the inside, but from the outside at least. And you could probably just add some shelving or something. So the only thing that I could come up with to add as window coverings in here was these blinds. There's probably a better way of doing it, but at the time I couldn't think of anything, and the only other option was to use the larger version of the curtains I've already used, and that just looked horrendous. So I wanted it to look a bit like clashy, but not that clashy, you know. So this is kind of the lighting that you can see now is what the lighting in the rest of the rooms end up looking like. It's just nice and soft. So in here I have used the Dream Home Decorator bunk beds. I changed the swatch to, I think it's like a yellow one, and then like the bottom bunk is, I think it's white, but I think there might be like pink accents, like a pink pillow or something. I kind of wanted green so that I could have like yellow and green, but that's kind of not how it happened. It's not how it ended up. I wanted to use the leaf wallpaper. That didn't really work very well with the pink and yellow, so I ended up going with this wallpaper from Parenthood, I think. And my original idea was that it was a boys' room because I wanted to use that green like leaf kind of wallpaper, and that kind of went out the window, and it looks very feminine now. So you can still have boys living in here, that's fine. But it's not what I wanted, basically, is what I'm trying to say. But I'm still pretty pleased with it. I put a TV on here and a fish bowl because I thought like they could have a little pet of their own in here, and I have fish and I love my fish, so I think everybody should have fish. I spent ages trying to find the fish food. I think it comes with Discover University? No, Get Famous. It comes with Get Famous. And I just think it's really a realistic kind of touch just to have food right next to the fish bowl. So that's what we have here. I've also added another lamp, and these are the only two lights that I have used in this room. So I'm pretty pleased with it. It's very modern in style compared to the rest of the house, but like I said, I thought the parents maybe renovated this when their kids were slightly older, and you know, it just looks like a child's room. I'm not really sure about the toddler room. It's probably more on the cottagecore, kind of modern cottagecore style. So basically there's like several different styles of rooms in this house. None of them particularly go very well together, but on their own they look okay. Or at least I like them on their own. So I haven't really used this like dresser thing before. I think it's probably better in like a laundry room because it looks like there's towels and blankets and things in there, but I think it is really nice for, especially in this kind of like kids room or toddler room. I don't really remember what I added on this table. I think I put a lamp and then maybe like a bottle. I was going to put the tablet on there, but I obviously didn't. I don't think I remembered to. I might do that before I take the screenshots. And then above the little cupboard, I've put the hanging clothes from Dream Home Decorator. I sized the kids' clothes down a little bit because I thought they looked a little bit too big, especially for a toddler room, and then end up changing the cupboard color to the same wood swatch. I think it does end up looking a little bit dark, but I still think it looks cool. I tried to kind of fiddle around with the tool mod to see if I could make it fit, but I couldn't, and it was annoying me, so I just kind of left it as it is. The trousers are kind of clipping into the cupboard a little bit, but you can't see them, so it's fine. I had like trying to recreate a Charlie Pancake CC item in my mind when I was doing that. They're not quite baby grows, but they're they're good enough, you know, they work okay. I put a couple of posters and some pictures, and that is the interior done. I add 2 lights on the outside and then we move on to the landscaping. So the first thing I did was find some cherry trees and put a whole bunch of these out here. I tried to space them out as much as I possibly could so that I could give myself a little bit of extra kind of space. So I think there ends up like 10 trees in total, which I think is quite a lot. But if you're, you know, running a farm based on cherries, then you're probably going to need quite a lot of trees. So I wanted to use this swing set initially, but I try and find different spaces for it. I think here would be good, and then I try somewhere else, and I end up putting the chicken coop where those swings are, so I end up like completely deleting the swings. I did think about having 6 of these, but then when I tried to put like the fencing around and the little stone pathway, it just, I don't know, I might actually end up keeping them, I'm not sure, but I kind of couldn't really fit everything that I wanted in, so I probably should have done it on a bigger lot, but it's fine. I wanted it to look tiny, so it definitely looks tiny and squishy. So I've used this debug fence from Cottage Living. I really like this one. It looks really like normal to me, I guess. Normal. Natural, like not all stone fencing, especially around older buildings and older farmhouses, is going to be like completely intact and perfect, so I wanted it to look a little bit more worn down, which I really do appreciate the fact that they've put that in the debug or like the live edit. It's really nice. So I apparently forgot to record the landscaping, so that is almost it for today's video. You will see it in the screenshots at the end. So I thank you so much for watching. I really hope you have enjoyed it. It's on the gallery and tray files will be on Tumblr as usual. So yeah, thank you again, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye everyone.
There's no place I'd rather be than here with you. That's all I need. There's no one I'd rather see close to me. That's all I